Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Wake your ass up, fool. John Jay and Rich. What's crack-a-lackin'? This is the big boss dog, Snoopy Deagle Double Jizzle. Bang, boom, what you gonna do? John Jay and Rich. We're not talking about Ren 1010. We're not talking about Lassie. It's the one and only dog, y'all. The classy, sassy, big Snoop Deagle Double Jizzle. In your face to be and in the place to be. And you're listening to John Jay and Rich. Wake your ass up, fool.
John Jay and Rich. Our phone number is 877-937-1047. The text line, you text JJR, and whatever you want to say to us, to the number 96893. Here is a text from a 480 number referencing the new couples podcast that dropped yesterday. John Jay and Rich, snooze fest, couples therapy, snooze fest. My bad, sorry.
What?
I thought it was really good.
I liked
Not
it.
according to this person, snooze fest. Actually, this is the first one I've read that was negative. I got a lot of positive feedback on it.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Now, you were laid back. I could tell that it was the afternoon for you, and you were much more chill than you are in here. But I liked hearing that side. I thought it was cool.
I think it's always fun hearing you guys talk. Like any of you, when I'm hearing you talk and I'm not with you, it's like I get to eavesdrop on this conversation, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it was like you're kind of like listening in on what the Van Esses do, like planning their dinner. Because I was listening to like the level of restaurant that you were talking about eating at, the healthy, like you're like Peter Jungle Kava or
you mean
or
with Dutch
Chipotle,
call?
yeah.
Oh,
and it was like listening in on like what happens at night at the Van Ness house.
If you got that far, you listened to the whole thing then.
Yeah, I listened to the whole thing.
Oh, wow. Did you get the part where Blake didn't have her headphones plugged in?
It was hilarious to me. I didn't know I was supposed to plug them in. And she kept on calling him microphone. I didn't know I was supposed to plug in my microphone.
I know. It's like you think that, your husband is in this business, you would know something about it, but no, she did not. I did get a message this morning saying you didn't talk about the big fight. And I said, yeah, because nobody asked about it. That's, we were answering the questions that people were messaging about. But, the thing is, next week it's Kyle, then we're going to rotate, then it'll be Nick and his wife, then Grant and his wife, and then it'll go back to Rich and Stacy, then Peyton and Kadeem, and then Blake and me again. So it's going to be rotating every single Sunday. So it's the couples podcast, and you can get it on demand, John Jay and Rich on demand. Now let's get to something extremely important. I got so excited about this, big time, is that Easton was riding a bike.
Yeah. Come on, let's go.
I saw that video yesterday. I got all excited.
Me too. So I shared with you guys that I bought him a bike because when he was 6, we tried riding a bike. He fell and he refused to get back on the bike. And he said, I don't want to ride a bike now. I'll do it when I'm 7. So he is 7 now. He'll be 8 in just a month. And I kept telling him like, hey, what do you think about getting back on that bike? And he was refusing until I bought a bike because his other one basically broke. It was too small.
New one looks cool.
It was a cool bike. I actually found it used at this bike store where I got a little bit mom-shamed for having an almost 8-year-old who doesn't know how to ride a bike. But just used that as motivation. And this weekend I was like, okay, we're going to go out. We're going to go to the park. We're going to get on some grass. So if you fall, it's not going to be a big deal. It'll just be like a plush landing. Like, no worries. And the thing is he's been riding. You guys know those little tiny Strider bikes that they give toddlers, and they're like probably like 1.5 feet high, maybe, and they ride them. There's no pedals on them. He's been riding that. He's way too big for it, but I kept telling him, you've been riding the Strider bike, so your balance, the balance of a bike. Instead of putting your feet down and using those to move, just pedal the pedals on the bike. So we get to the park, and he's so scared. And I don't know. He's my most cautious child. I know the second child is supposed to be the wild one, but he is definitely not. So we get to the park and he starts kind of going, and then Scott goes behind him and is holding on, and then does the thing where he lets go, and Easton doesn't know he had let go.
That's when I crashed into the car.
And he's just going.
Right.
And he's going. And we're like, you're going. This is amazing.
You can see his face. He's
and
like so
he's
happy.
so proud of himself. And it was such it was like almost the same feeling as when he like took his first steps. It was like that type of milestone where I got so emotional, and I'm like, how many more of these little milestones do I get? Because I know there's not very many more of them. And I was just so proud that he like overcame the fear and he did it. So he was riding a bike, and we went for a family bike ride last night, and it was just the most amazing thing. I was like, this is a dream.
Congratulations.
I'm so
Good
happy
job,
for you
Easton.
guys. I loved watching that video. I actually went back and like double commented because I was like, look at his smile. Like
He's
it is
so
just like
proud of himself.
from ear to ear. That was so cute. And then like seeing your story of them all riding the bike, and then you're just so happy and at peace. I loved it. It made me feel so good.
It's funny with the youngest kid, because when Dutch, my youngest kid, was 6, he had a birthday party, and he only wanted killin fish at the birthday party. Right? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So they came to his party, right? And now Dutch was at the University of Arizona on Saturday, like touring the school and doing all this stuff. There was all these things going on. And his brother, Jake, oldest brother, came home this weekend. So Dutch stayed at Jake's apartment. And what happened? A huge party broke out of Dutch's.
Of course.
Dutch had 40 people in Jake's apartment.
Of course.
Oh my goodness.
40 people, and had a party upstairs. Like I'm like thinking of Kyle teaching the Easton how to ride a bike, and I'm thinking of Dutch's 6-year birthday party when Kyle and Fish came over before they had kids, and I'm looking at this little guy, and I'm like, what happened? And then yesterday he comes home yesterday. And something was wrong with my TV. I couldn't get it right, so I had to reboot it. So I turned off everything, which turned off the Wi-Fi. And I hear Dutch yell, "Dad, you turn off the Wi-Fi?" I'm like, yeah. The Masters are on. What are you doing? Why would you turn off the Wi-Fi and the Masters are on? And I was like, I don't know. I didn't know we were a golf family. I didn't know we were watching the Masters, But the Masters is big in your house, too.
The only thing that was on all weekend. In fact, I knew this was going to happen, and so I should have not let it get to me, but like Scott just disappears so he can watch the Masters, and he's like gone. And then when he realizes he can come back in and watch it because nobody's in the living room, I walked out at the very moment, at the end of the tournament when this happens.
The long journey is over. McIlroy has his masterpiece.
And Scott is on the couch and he's in tears.
He was just so happy.
Well, he won the quad or whatever they call
He
it.
loves Rory McIlroy, and Rory McIlroy has been trying to win the Masters for like 20 years or something like crazy like that. And this like cemented his legacy in golf history because he won the Grand Slam. So he's won every major now, and there's only, I think, 7 other golfers who have ever done that.
Okay.
It's only 5 other golfers that have
Is
done
Tiger
that.
Woods one of them?
Yeah.
You know what's funny about golf is like, this is just my non-athletic observation. Like they put on the green jacket, they put on a baseball cap, right? They call it a grand slam. Like, do they want to be baseball? Yeah. Like, they got all these baseball terms.
See, I called it quad. It's not the quad. It's the Grand Slam.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, I actually thought that was tennis. I was like, oops.
Also, they call it a grand slam.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I saw Scott wearing his Masters jacket. I was dying.
You know that guy, I think his name is Jim Nance, right? He's the announcer, and he's the guy that said, he goes, Rory McIlroy has his masterpiece. That he practices what to say about all these people if they do win, because that piece of audio will be played over and over and over again.
That's
So
smart.
like he practiced, Rory McIlroy just won his masterpiece, like that line.
The long journey is over. McIlroy has his masterpiece.
Like he practiced that for McIlroy.
The
He
long
practiced
journey is
another
over.
one for the
For
other
Rose,
guy.
the
He
guy
practiced
that-
another
yeah.
one so that those clips will be replayed forever. Because what is that thing? 50 years old, the Masters, or probably 100 years old. I
It'd
don't
be
know.
cool to see what he had written for the other ones and
Yeah.
have him do it on our show.
Yeah.
Very cool. Anyway, congratulations, Kyle Unfug, on Easton.
Easton has his
Congratulations on Rory McIlroy. And if you want to hear the couples podcast, you can get it on the on demand. John D. Rich on demand. It's Blake and I answering a bunch of questions wherever you get podcasts. What's coming up with 3 things you need to know, Kyle?
I'm going to tell you the reason you really should never wear new clothes without washing them. Next, with John, Jay, and Rich.
John, Jay, and Rich, Kyle, what do you got for 3 things we need to know?
So we are literally T-minus 5 minutes and 33 seconds away from the Jeff Bezos Blue Origin launch. It is the 11th crewed flight, and it is the first all-female crew. This is the one where Katy Perry, Gayle King, Lauren Sanchez, and a couple of actual astronauts are aboard to go up into, well, almost into actual space. They're
Just
gonna
a really high
they're gonna pass
airplane
the
ride.
Kremlin line, which will give them a few minutes of weightlessness. The whole ride is going to take them 10 minutes, and it is about to launch from Texas. And it was funny because Peyton and I were talking earlier, like Katy Perry was online saying her goodbyes. Oprah is there, was just interviewed about how like Gail was a little nervous, but excited, paved the way. And the whole point of this, they say, is to just show everyone that space is for everyone. That's it. So
I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. I wouldn't do it.
I would rather be at the bottom of the ocean than in outer space.
No
because
way.
We don't know what
No
don't know what's
way.
going on out there. At least the
I
bottom.
mean, they're
of the
not
ocean,
in outer space.
Oh, they're not?
They're not in outer space.
What are they doing?
They're just passing like the Kremlin line, which gives weightlessness. So they'll be able to like supposedly see Earth, but it's not like they're going all the way to the moon type thing.
Yeah,
So it's like
that's
a
what I
super
said.
airplane?
That's what I said. A high airplane ride.
It's
is what
only
it is.
taken 10 minutes. But it'll be interesting to see their reactions. And
10 minutes in the space or
it's
10 minutes up and back?
10 minutes up and back. The whole flight is going to be
No
10
way.
minutes.
It's like a roller coaster?
So they're going to go up. They'll spend a couple minutes weightless, and then they'll come back down. It's kind of like how when we watched Jeff Bezos do it, they'll come back down, and then they'll be like, oh my gosh, it was
It's
so
about
great.
the press after.
Yeah. Here's a completely disgusting reason why you should never wear new clothes without washing them. We've talked about this before, and I always feel like you got to wear them without washing them because they're fresh, right?
I
The
always
first
wear
time you
without
wash
washing.
them.
Always.
Then I saw this, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I got to start washing them because experts are warning shoppers that ringworm is transmissible via clothes. They've had a couple of cases recently where people are getting ringworm because they're wearing clothes that somebody tried on that had ringworm, and it is an incredibly itchy and scaly, highly contagious fungal infection caused by mold-like parasites that live on the cells of the outer layer of skin. And when people try on clothes and then you try it on, it could give you ringworm. So just wash the stuff before you wear it. It's gonna save you the trouble. So Coachella videos online on social media, I was watching them all weekend. And I'm like, oh my gosh, looks like everyone having so much fun. You see Justin Bieber there and everything. And except for, you see a video here or there of like the fire breaking out of Green Day and then people complaining. And I guess so many people were stuck in traffic for like 12 hours before getting onto Coachella grounds. They didn't have access to bathrooms, water, or gas. They waited in line. The meals from Coachella went viral because of how expensive they were. One woman shared on TikTok that a taco, nachos, and lemonades for 2 people was $102.
That's insane.
Insane. There's a lot of comments like Coachella seems like a miserable money trap that everyone falls for because of the social media pictures.
Yeah, I have no desire to go. When I saw the line of people waiting in line for the bathroom, I would never, ever, ever want to go there, ever.
Insane.
Yeah, although I did hear Lady Gaga had the best performance of her career.
Mashed it.
I know.
actually
And then you could
watched
run into
it.
celebrities. I mean, Stormy Webster was there, so.
Yeah, I saw one TikTok and it was like, wait, celebrities literally just walk around at Coachella? I'm like, yeah, like they're out in the wild. I would love to go to Coachella.
That's
but
what people,
I think that's cool.
that's
I would
what brings
love
the
to see it.
people. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Payne, what's the vibe for horoscopes today?
Okay, I'm going to tell you your inner child in one word based on your zodiac sign.
877-937-1047. Payne's predictions after the weekend. I'm John J. Rich. Right now, you can bring up on my computer, Rich, the launch. This is Katy Perry just took off into space. That's so wild I'm saying that. Listen.
1,300 miles per hour. You're going to peak at about 2,300 miles an hour over Mach 3 times the speed of sound. Shortly coming up, we'll have Miko, main engine cut off. We will turn off the engine, but the 2 craft, the capsule and the booster, will continue their ascent.
I'm watching Jeff Bezos.
That's me too. He's watching his fiance head up into space.
He's in the crowd.
Who's
just
holding
looking
onto
up.
his shoulder? They're holding on very tightly.
They're nervous,
What
it looks
happened?
like.
Oh, they must be weightless now.
There you saw. The main engine is turned off. We're now going to separate the capsule from the booster. And at that point, Kristen, that's when all 6 astronauts are going to start to feel the weightlessness. And shortly thereafter...
Yeah, I think you're right, Rich. I think they're floating.
Why are they screaming?
And that right there is the most critical milestone of this whole ascent.
There's Oprah.
Oprah watching her best friend go to space.
Kris Jenner.
Oh, commercial. Lame. Lame. Boo.
Oh, Oprah's crying.
Oh, that's insane.
Anyway.
Well, that's kind of fun.
I was reading the comments and somebody's like, my daughter's a physicist and this is a mockery. Like, this isn't real space, real science.
Well, that's why I said they're not going to outer space.
Right. Still. Anyway, that's happening right now. The Viper horoscopes, Peyton.
I'm going to tell you about your inner child in one word based on your zodiac sign.
Call us at 877-937-1047. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aries, like your wife, and today's my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I'm going to tell you, Aries, about your inner child, and you should really bring this out for your birthday today because your inner child, Aries, is untamed. You are the one that was jumping off furniture, turning every hallway into a racetrack, and somehow convincing everyone else to follow your chaos. That bold, fearless energy is still in your bones. Make sure you show it off today.
Yep, that's true.
Do you know what celebrities you share your birthday with?
Freddie Prinze Jr.'s wife. I forgot her name.
Sarah Michelle Gellar. I was just looking at that. And Amber
That's the only
Breslin and Rob McElhenney, the guy who's a partner with Ryan Reynolds in that soccer team. Yeah, McElhenney. And Anthony Michael Hall, who is the geek from 16 Candles and
Breakfast
Club. In fact, the whole Breakfast Club group was together the other day.
I saw that. I watched that whole thing.
It's like the first time since they filmed or something.
Very cool. Well, Megan, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Rain, good morning. What's your sign? Rain.
I'm a Cancer.
Okay, Cancer, Rain, your inner child is sentimental. You held on to all of those birthday cards, you cried over cartoon animals, and you made deep emotional connections with people and your stuffed animals. That heart of yours has always been huge. Make sure that you get into your inner child today, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, man. What's up, David? What's your sign?
Woo, David, the Taurus. What's going on, everybody?
Hi. Okay, so for Taurus, your inner child is cozy. You have the softest blankie, the best snack drawer, and a deep respect for naps. Comfort has always been the goal for you, Taurus, and you are still living that soft life.
I'm still in the same basement I've been in for like 47 years. So,
excellent.
Yeah,
Look at that. Very cozy.
No need for concern.
Well, you know.
We're all little.
Hi, David. Thanks, man. Mike, what's up, Mike?
What's up, John J. Rolling with you once again, Virgos.
Okay, Virgo, John J. and Mike, your inner child is a mini boss. You were the type that had all of the crayons, you made your toys check out of work, and you took your playtime very seriously. If somebody messed with your vision, there was a problem. That CEO energy started very early for you, Virgos.
Nailed it once again, baby.
Thanks, Mike.
Have a blessed day.
What do you have for Libras?
Kyle, your inner child is charming. You could sweet talk your way into an extra cookie. You had the best style in kindergarten, and you knew how to work a room before you could spell your name, and you still got it like that.
Oh, hey.
That's a good one.
Although I look back at my kindergarten pictures and did not have the style.
You weren't the it girl?
But I thought I was because I was wearing like hand-me-downs for my sisters, and I thought they were cool. So, it's all in how you wear it.
Right.
Hey, I'm still watching the launch, and I think they're coming down again right now. Katy Perry and it's Katy Perry, Gayle King, and
Lauren Sanchez. And then, like, a couple of actual astronauts.
And in the last moments,
And there it is. We can see it from the stage.
There comes it. The rocket down is going to relight its engine. We're going to also see a sonic boom. We're going to hear that shortly here.
And remember, this is something that had never been done before until just a few years ago. Truly the stuff of science fiction that you're about to watch.
Why does it make that noise?
Because it's breaking the sound barrier.
I'm reading the comments, and they're like, you got the commentators are going to get a lot of grief because they call them astronauts.
Oh, yeah.
It's just landing, just like normal. I thought it was going to land in the water, like in the movies. It just land right there.
It's like a plane, right?
Yeah, and I think the capsule that they are actually in comes down via parachute.
No, they already landed, though. You see that? They're not in that thing that just landed?
That's just like the rocket booster part. They're in the capsule, and then there will be a parachute, and it'll come down, and then it'll land on the desert floor.
Wow, and it's an all-female crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Wow.
Perfect landing.
Right on target.
You see that dust kind of...
Hey, Tim, what's your sign?
Hey, first time caller. My name is Tim. I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. Okay, Rich is our Pisces in the room, too. Your inner child is dreamer. We know this, though. You floated through childhood like you were living in a fairy tale, painting your feelings and creating imaginary worlds. You have always had your head in the clouds, Pisces, and honestly, you should stay there. It's where you thrive.
Amen. Tim, you feel it?
I feel it. I feel it.
Good.
Constant daydreamer. Almost blacked out when y'all was talking to me.
All right, Tim. Thanks for listening, bro. Thanks for calling in for the first time. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, so now Kyle's right. Now the capsule's coming, and there's a parachute.
And then next will be the main parachutes that get pulled out.
Oh, my God. Looks like he's... Oh, yeah.
That screaming inside
I feel like when Jeff Bezos went up, there was videos inside. Like, I want to see them. I wonder if they release those videos later or
The
something.
screaming's a little alarming, and they've been doing a lot of that.
Well, it's like a roller coaster, probably.
Yeah.
And what we're doing, we're watching the landing of this rocket ship with Katy Perry and a bunch of
That's a
people.
busy family.
Now going to commercial. Dang it! Stupid YouTube. Are you watching? Does it yours go to commercial
mine's
too?
on. It goes to a commercial every once in a while, but it's
Oh, there,
not
it's
right
back.
now.
It's back.
The simulations I have gone through all of the training. They put you in the capsule that simulates all of this, including the sounds. And when you hear the motors of the parachutes pop out, that is the best moment in flight.
Because I know Blue Origin does everything they can to make this as safe as possible, and y'all have an impeccable safety record, but it still has to feel really good when you know that you're coming back to Earth with those parachutes fully deployed.
I bet you all those people are going to be friends for life. that
Yeah,
are
totally.
in
What
that-
an experience.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that, like, Katy Perry was, like, getting pumped up for this and was, like, playing her song E.T. over and over again?
Totally. Yeah.
Looks like a little dog crate right now.
I know.
That's so crazy.
That's pretty cool. The comments are unhinged.
Yeah.
The live chat.
The comments in the live are the reason to go watch the live.
It's like when you're scrolling.
Somebody named William goes, "If you don't enjoy this, I don't want to know." And then someone goes, "Nobody likes you, William."
Gosh. Poor William.
There it landed. It's so wild. It just landed. Poof, right there.
Wow.
There's a Kardashian.
I wonder if they're going to be sore after that landing, because that didn't look.
I know, it didn't look very tender.
There's no Kardashian on the flight, right?
No.
So the Kardashians are all there,
Yeah.
probably because they want to go
Here's
next.
Chloe.
They want to
Yeah.
go next.
And
Just see Chris and Chloe.
none of the Kardashians have gone up yet?
That'd actually be cool if you put all the Kar Jenners up there.
Don't you think if they would have gone up, we would have known about it? We would have talked
Yeah,
about
I
it.
feel
we
like
would've
somebody
said that.
did. Maybe not.
No.
I know Michael Strahan did.
Nice.
He's not a Kardashian, Rich.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I'm glad that it was a successful launch and landing.
Yeah. I still think they have videos of them in there and they haven't showed them. I'm
Drop
like,
them, they'll go
why?
viral.
Okay, so it's landed now. I wonder, do they just open the door and walk out?
Yes,
Or
as you heard it there, everybody seemed to be just as ecstatic, be back here, back on Earth. Everybody appears
looks like it landed
to be
in Cave
fine.
Creek.
It's just pure desert in Texas.
Down in the desert as we were just
Anyway, Rich, what do you got for life hacks?
Well, there is a perfect night's sleep life hack formula. You probably haven't heard any of these before, so I'm excited to share it with you.
Stacks and hacks next. John, Jay, and Rich.
Hey, better wake up. Wake up. We're not ready.
John Jay and Rich wake you up.
So all the celebrities, all the astronauts have landed. They're good. Have they come out yet of the rocket?
I think they're literally coming out right now. Jeff Bezos is opening the door for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like a gentleman.
And I think his fiance came out first. And they're going to, and she's got her hand to her heart. They're about to embrace. Big hug. We made it. We're alive.
Let's see. Hold on. Turn up, Rich. I got it. Oh, not yet. I have a commercial. Stupid YouTube. Can you pay to not have
Yes, you
commercials?
can.
Oh, you can?
Oh,
And you
Katy
should.
Perry's next. She's out.
Got it.
Holding something up.
Kissing the ground.
I don't know what she held up.
Thank you.
Then there's that girl.
I think she's one of the official astronauts. Yeah.
No, why did she sound like she's freaking out?
Yeah, she's crying. These are all people coming out of the spaceship. Looks like a tent.
Was that a Jeff Bezos woo there? Woo!
No. is Gail. All right, well, let's get to stacks and hacks. I got stacks information. Rich has life hacks. Tax day is tomorrow for most Americans. Everyone have their taxes done?
Yeah.
In a survey, 90% of Americans say they regularly use abbreviations in their daily messages. But a study found that making text too short makes people feel like they're being brushed off. I get that, too. I think I totally feel that. Like if you get a THX instead of a thanks, or if you get like a sure or okay, it makes you feel like you get brushed off. Yeah.
Just a K.
Yeah.
Just a K is like, oh, geez, okay.
That seems passive-aggressive.
A startup business in Los Angeles is launching the first ever sperm racing league. They built a microscopic track so guys swimmers can go head-to-head and see who swim the fastest. The first event will live stream April 25th. And yes, you can bet on it.
Do we not have better things to do with our time?
I don't think so. I think that's important.
4 people in Louisiana were arrested after riding their horses through a Walmart last week. Here's one of the guys. He turned himself in, but here's why they did it.
That's my emotional support animal. We just went in there, rolled. We always ride to Baker. We just wanted to do it that day. I mean, it was fun. We went famous. That's all. We didn't want to hurt nobody or nothing.
This next thing, I had no idea this was a thing, but this is big. A pastor, his name is Andrew Isker. He claims that he prefers to have airport security frisk him than go through the scanner. You know why?
Why?
Because he says when you go through the airport scanner, it turns you gay. Yeah, I didn't know that, and I've been through it before. It makes a lot of sense now.
I had to be molested at the airport to go to Florida, right, just to get on an airplane, because I'm not going to go through the gay beam machine. It appears having a guy touch you all over the place is, on its face, seems worse. But you don't really know what those things are doing to you. So
where the imaging goes, or what they're doing,
because it's like
what they're doing in the back room.
They can just take a picture of me sort of naked, like no.
And then he turned gay.
Okay.
Right, when you go through it. So be careful. Or you don't care. I don't care. Something you go through gay, and then you go through the next time, you're not gay. It's like severance with your sexuality.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Rich, what do you got for life hacks?
All right, well, there's a hack recipe for the perfect night's sleep before you go to bed. One of these you've probably heard of, but I promise you the next one you haven't. The hack to a perfect night's sleep is, to set your bedroom temperature between 68 and 72 degrees. You've heard that, right? Mm-hmm. And you've heard about using a sleep mask because the darker the room, the more sleep you get. But you probably haven't heard about this one. Before you go to bed, eat pistachios. Have you heard that? Anybody heard pistachios?
No. Why?
So pistachios and nuts, just a handful. That's all you need. They actually have something in them that naturally produces melatonin when you eat them. 20 minutes later, you digest. It will help you get to sleep and stay asleep. And it's like natural melatonin, not like taking melatonin. So it's not addictive or anything like that. Try it. A couple of pistachios before you go to sleep. That life hack and many more on johnjanerich.com.
I'm so glad you're here. As the person who currently occupies your attention, I would like to thank you for listening to John, Jay, and Rich.
Shoot us a text JJR, whatever's on your mind, to 96893. Yesterday, Couples Podcast, episode 3 dropped. It's me and my wife, Blake. You can hear that right now wherever podcasts are. Search John, Jay, and Rich on demand. This is kind of funny and clever. But I guess crosswalks in Silicon Valley have been hacked. Have you seen this?
What? No.
So you hit the button for the crosswalk, and you get a message from Mark Zuckerberg. Right? And there's one of Elon Musk, but I haven't heard that one yet. But this is the Mark Zuckerberg's voice making fun of artificial intelligence. So you hit the button to walk, and then...
Wait. Hi, this is Mark Zuckerberg, but real ones call me the Zuck. It's normal to feel uncomfortable or even violated as we forcefully insert AI into every facet of your conscious experience. And I just want to assure you, you don't need to worry, because there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. Anyway, see ya.
What the heck?
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, I think that freaked me out a little bit.
I can't remember. There's one of him and Elon Musk, but I have not found the Elon Musk one, so I thought that was a hoot. All right, Peyton, let's get to your weekend. What happened with your boyfriend?
So this weekend, my boyfriend Kadeem, his family, they usually they stay out in the Portland, Seattle area, but his mom's side of the family is really in Seattle, and they had a huge family party for Kadeem's aunt and one of his cousins out here in Arizona, literally 10 minutes away from our house, which was so nice. I don't know why they chose to come here, but I kind of enjoyed it because then we didn't have to hop on a flight to Seattle. But They did like an all-white party. Everybody was all dressed up. It was so fun. And it was really cool to be able to meet his mom's side of the family because I haven't really got to meet all of them yet. I've met his family in Portland, but not his family in Seattle. So it was really fun to be able to put like the names to the faces. And I mean, next month is our 5-year anniversary. So it's been like 5 years of learning about these people and never meeting them before. But we took all the pictures and I had them on my phone. So I sent all the pictures to Kadeem's granny, his mom's mom. And I get on Instagram, and she is posting all of the pictures on Instagram. And there's a picture of me and Kadeem's mom, Crystal, and it's just us two. And in the caption, it says, my daughter and my granddaughter-in-law. I was like, ha, I made it. I'm officially a part of the family. If your granny is calling me her granddaughter-in-law, yes, please.
Might as well get the ring now. I mean, it's official. Granny made it official.
Isn't that also another version of Why Buy the Cow when you get the milk for free? Like you're getting you're getting everything but a ring.
It's true.
They're giving you the whole thing.
He'll give it to me though. I'm not worried about that. I'm not. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when is it going to happen. But this white party though, at this party was so fun because I feel like I kind of discovered, or not necessarily discovered something, but I stand true in my transition from drinking tequila to vodka. Because I was like a tequila connoisseur. Like all I drank was tequila. I was a tequila snob. About a year ago, I went to the Nicki Minaj concert and had like the worst hangover of my life. And I was like, never again.
But you've said that a lot of Mondays in here.
Yeah.
But she said no more tequila.
I said no more tequila. So I'm only drinking vodka for a year. And I probably had a little bit too much to drink on Saturday hanging out with all of Kadeem's family. And I definitely had a hangover yesterday, but it wasn't anywhere near as bad as my hangovers when I drink tequila. And I think tequila needs to be changed to kill you because that's how it feels when you have a hangover from tequila. It takes you out all day. Yesterday, I had a little baby hangover and I was up and moving at like 2. And was like ready to go. And so
like
I was
2.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Usually I take
the life.
Yeah, no responsibilities yesterday, just nursing my hangover as I'm watching Easton ride his bike. I'm like, go, buddy, go. But no, it was fun. And I have to do this like walk of shame to my car every day because as I got home, I low-key yacked like in the like little grass
I'm sure nobody
area.
saw that. There's only hundreds of people living
neighbors
right
are like,
there.
here she goes again.
Wait, at what point? When did you throw up? What time?
When it was probably like 10.
Like you got up in the morning from your house and walked to your car?
No. So we had gotten back to our apartment after the party.
10 p.m.
Oh, 10 p.m.
Yeah, like 10 p.m.
Okay, did you ever throw up on tequila?
All the time.
Oh, really?
All the time.
Oh.
Yeah, and it wasn't fun. But the fact that I was able to yak and then be up and moving at 2 the next day, you guys, that's a big deal.
Did you ever yak? Because I feel like part of your throwing up is one of the reasons that you felt better the next day. Because you got out of your system that night.
Yeah, but I can do that with tequila and still feel like crap for 2 business days.
You can't do that anymore.
I can't do it anymore. I can't I'm getting too old. I can't drink like that anymore.
So after you drank and you threw up and you got up yesterday, have you drank alcohol since yesterday or no?
No, I haven't. I did consider though. I was like, I think I need a pina colada.
Right.
But I ended up rallying through. I ended up being fine. But yeah, I stand true in my decision to switch, and I encourage everyone else to join me.
Fair enough.
That's all right. It starts good.
When you're drinking vodka, what do you drink? It just vodka and what?
Like a dirty Shirley.
Okay.
Yeah, so like a Shirley Temple with like a vodka shot. You know.
Let's shift gears real quick from your psycho party into Kyle and Easter baskets.
Yes.
Couldn't
have any more opposite worlds right now. Yeah, I kind of like got in an argument with Scott a little bit because he spent 4 days on a golf trip with my brother and our other brother-in-law, and he comes back. And we start talking about, I was like, yeah, so Addie came to me and she said, can I get a different Easter basket? Because she hates her Easter basket. And I'm like, she doesn't need a new Easter basket. It's like, why? Why do we need to spend money on another Easter? It's a beautiful Easter basket. It's very nice. And Scott's like laughing. You know, I'm like, what are you laughing at? He's like, you like to like hyper control Easter. Like, who cares? Just get her a new basket. And I was like, I'm sorry, who are you? And where did you put my husband? Because he would never speak to me in this way.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
You'll hear it next week on the Couples Podcast.
I like to hyper control Easter. The problem is if I didn't, Easter wouldn't happen around here. I mean, he has risen. That would still happen. But the little basket Easter bunny stuff, yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. And he's like, just get her a new Easter basket. I'm like, who's this laid back dude? Okay, we'll just do that then. No big deal.
So you guys have
so mad.
The same Easter basket you use every year?
Every year, I just use the same one. It's white.
Oh, no, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what the hell we ever did in my kids' childhood. I didn't know. Maybe we did the same thing.
My mom still gives me an Easter basket with the Easter basket.
My wife does the same thing.
Yeah,
but I don't recall us having the same Easter basket. If we probably do. I don't know.
When they were very young, we ordered, or the Easter Bunny ordered, personalized baskets. So my daughter has decided she hates her name. She hates the name Addison. And on the Easter basket, it says Addison. And I know that's why she doesn't want the stupid Easter basket. I'm like, screw you. You're getting the Easter basket.
Question for you, Kyle, about Easter. Since you're
That's so Easter. Screw you.
Since you're the hyper-controller of Easter that you are. So my daughter Audrey's back in town from spring break. So my son Christopher, and I are sitting at the drive-thru at In-N-Out Burger. And my son Christopher says from the back seat, hey, question, Easter bunny human size or bunny size? What is the answer to that?
I've seen him human size.
We've had that discussion, and we have opted in our house to say it's a little Easter bunny size because that makes it less scary.
Yeah.
Well, all the pictures I have of my kids and the Easter bunny's pretty damn big.
He's pretty big, huh?
Pretty big.
I thought he was
I don't
about
see any
6 foot
pictures
tall.
of any little tiny midget Easter bunny.
Well, you can't catch that guy on camera.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great holiday, you guys.
Check out our latest couples therapy podcast. It features me and my wife Blake. We answer your questions. We call our son Dutch. It's a cool inside look at our relationship. Just search John Jay and Rich on demand on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Here's Beyonce. Hi, Colleen. Thanks for holding.
Hi, thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, what's going on with you?
So I'm actually a longtime listener, first-time caller, and seriously, I love all of you.
Thank you. That's sweet.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to talk to you. Hopefully, you have some feedback for me. I went on a first date last night with this guy that I really like, and we just totally vibed. It was really great conversation. Just everything was flowing. He asked about my family, and I told him about my Nana a few months ago. And honestly, I've been struggling with her passing. And he was really sweet, really understanding. And I felt so comfortable that I took out her ashes. Not like a whole thing of her ashes. Like I carry a small vial of her ashes in my purse, and I had showed him. And he was kind of surprised, but, like, not in a bad way. He just, like, laughed a little, and he was like, oh, nice to meet you, Nana, which I thought was really sweet, and it was funny. And we ended the night with, like, a pretty solid makeout sesh, so I figured it went well. But then I got home, I told my roommate, and she's like, Colleen, what? She thinks it's, like, weird and creepy that I carry Nana's ashes around, and even weirder that I, like, whip them out on a first date. So... Like, I get it, but, like, now I'm kind of, like, spiraling, so I'm like, oh, my God, like, was it that weird? Like, do you guys think it was too much? Like, is he just, like, never going to call me again? Because it didn't seem like a big deal, but, like, is it a big deal?
Well, are you seeing him again?
I mean, I haven't heard from him yet, but I would like to.
This is the beginning part of the second date.
Yeah.
Call the guy and be like, what happened?
But you can't do it yet.
Yeah, no, just got to give a little bit of time.
And
Too soon.
a solid makeout is pretty much, you're probably going to get at least a call back. I don't think he bothered him.
I kind of feel like, when you're on a date and, like, you just feel the chemistry, you feel the vibe of the date. Things that happen may seem weird to people outside of the situation, but in the situation, it felt right for you. And he didn't, he didn't freak out at the time. So I feel like that wouldn't be a deal breaker for him.
Also, I thought maybe if you slept with him, then he'd be like, yeah, I'm on this date with this girl. She busts out her grandma's ashes, and then we slept together. I'd be like, great, then I'll see her again. But she busts out grandma's ashes and nothing happened, I'd be like, that's a little weird. Also, would it have been something if he just thought it was like, that's your sense of humor, and he takes the little vial of ashes and, oh, this is great, hey, Nana, and pours it on his food like it's a
That'd be so
spice
terrible.
terrible. And then you're like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh my God, that's real? These are really your grandma's ashes? I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like, Himalayan salt. I didn't know, mother of God.
That would have been terrible.
I do think you got a good tell in there, Colleen, because you said that when you pulled them out, you said, oh, hey, Nana, nice to meet you.
Yeah, that's
sweet.
sweet.
If he would have said something like, oh, okay, and was a little standoffish, you would know it offended.
Yeah.
But since he rolled with it, he didn't seem bothered by it, and you got the make out, I think you're fine.
What if he was like, yeah, it's funny you did that. I have my wife's ashes in my pocket.
That's
She's
sad.
not dead yet.
Oh my God. Honestly, I've been like, I did not sleep last night, so thank you, because I was like, oh my gosh, I might have messed this up. So I feel a lot better now.
You should have said to your roommate, you're just jealous because you don't have a date. You're just jealous. And start a big fight with your roommate.
I love him. You don't know him.
Maybe later.
All right.
Well, let us know if he gets back to you.
Is it weird to carry your grandma's ashes in your purse with you? Is it weird? Anyone?
I don't think so.
Yes.
As she was telling this story, I was thinking about how, like, when my dog Busta died, we all got necklaces with his ashes and we all wore them. Like, I don't think that's...
Until when? How come you don't wear them anymore?
Well, because I don't know. I started to wear gold jewelry and not silver jewelry. Sorry, Busta. I still have it. I just don't.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
So
that's my dog. Of course I have it.
You have that dog, but you don't have the ring, your championship ring.
No.
She hasn't lost Busta yet.
My grandma would not be happy if I lost a Busta. But I don't think that's weird to carry it around.
Yeah, it's sentimental.
And first, you had a first date with that guy he will never forget, because I bet that's never happened to him before ever.
Well, hopefully it turns into like a great relationship. He calls you back. Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, thank you, Colleen. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you so much. I love you guys. Have a great day.
Thanks for calling in, Colleen.
You did.
It's John, Jay, and Rich.
Squabble up. Squabble up. Squabble up. Squabble up.
John, Jay, and Rich. Hi, Tate.
Hi.
Hi, you're on the air. What's going on?
I've got something I kind of wild. I need your take on, I guess.
Ooh, I like wild. Go ahead.
Well, I'm a tattoo artist, and I've been building up like a solid little following lately. And yesterday, this woman walks in the shop for 1 p.m. appointment, and I swear I recognized her at first, but I couldn't place it. So I checked the name, and then it hit me. It's my old friend's mom. Like, we're talking middle school, like middle school homie, his mother. And she's in her 50s, and she's clearly had work done, like, he looks young, definitely giving like midlife crisis energy, right? And guess what she wants?
What?
A tattoo that starts on her lower back and dips down onto the top of her butt.
She wants a tramp stamp.
Tramp stamp, legit. She knew exactly.
She's like, I really missed out on the 90s.
I actually saw somewhere that they're coming back. Like, more people are getting them right now. I'm like, why? Why are we doing this?
But it was weird. Like, she knew exactly who I was. And apparently she got my name from one of her friends who's also a client. And, she was super chill about the whole thing. And I don't have a problem doing it. But here's the weird thing. Like, her son, my old buddy, is now a full-time minister. Like, we're talking preaching on Sundays, Bible in the hand minister. And we recently, reconnected on Facebook and all that. So the whole thing is just, it's just very weird.
Well, what's the tattoo she wants? Put a little cross there. Maybe she's getting it for him, her son. My son's a minister.
I was going to say that.
I want to have a cross that goes all the way down to my butt cheeks.
To the opposite effect.
It's just something lame, like some palm trees, kind of like island motif type of thing.
Weird.
As a tramp stamp?
Yeah. Shouldn't it be tribal or something?
Yeah, tribal. Or like a butterfly or something.
I think you need to reach out to your friend and be like, I think you need to call your mom, see what's going on in her life. I think she...
Is she okay?
She is reaching for connection right now.
You're not going to not do it, though, right?
I'll do it. I got no problem with it. It's just, it's kind of... I feel a little caught in the middle.
Well, when you do a tattoo on a tramp stamp, does she have to just take off the back of her shirt so she lays down, or do you have to remove her? Does she have to remove her pants and stuff?
I mean, you gotta kind of pull it down a bit, but yeah.
Maybe see what you want. Maybe you can be like, I'm going to need you to remove your bottom half of your clothes.
Ew.
Maybe she's trying to flirt with him. Maybe she wants a little something.
She did look you up. I mean, maybe she's interested.
Hey, that's just weird.
Yeah, but sexy.
No.
Oh, yeah, it is.
No.
What does she look like? Is she attractive?
Yeah, she's attractive. You could tell, like, she's, like I said, she has had work done, and, yeah, she's doing her thing. But
work done? Like, what kind of work done?
I could tell, like, some nose stuff going on, maybe a little bit of a facelift. I don't know. Yeah.
She's a baddie, in other words.
So she looks like she lives in Scottsdale?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Be like, yeah. What do you want? Let's go. Drop the trowel. That's how I work. I need to rest my elbows on your butt cheeks.
That is a weird situation, though.
You couldn't rest your elbow. Like the logistic of resting the elbows on the butt cheek while doing the trick. Like, it'd be very awkward.
Is it? I don't know. It all depends. Like, if she's laying long ways,
yeah,
and then you'd be like elbow on the lower butt cheek, right? And then you'd be like,
I guess you could do one elbow and then, yeah.
And then it's that way you don't have to go like this. You got her pants in. You got to pull the pants in, so you just have to remove them, and you can put a sheet over like the bottom half of the legs, and then you got your elbow on the butt cheek.
I don't know that that's the advice he was asking for.
How do you do a tattoo? Well, that is it's weird, I guess. Yeah, and I'm glad you called us to talk to us about
It's right up our alley. I mean, it's
I bet you a lot of tattoo artists that listen to us that probably I'd love to hear about any more situations like that. Like the tattoo guy, Prince, that did Blake's tattoo. He's got so many beautiful pictures of tattoos that he's done. He's probably had the weirdest. It probably unfazes them. You're a rookie tattoo artist, right? Because I got to believe people that have been doing tattoos for a while have probably seen it all. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I've seen some crazy tattoos. Because I used to be a tattoo artist.
Your other life.
Quite a bit.
All right, dude. Thanks for calling in, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
It's John Jane Rich.
I know I have good judgment. I know I have good taste.
It's John Jane Rich. Our phone number is 877-937-1047. We dropped a couples podcast yesterday. So wherever you get podcasts and search John Jane Rich on demand, and you can hear episode 3 of the couples podcast. First episode was Rich and his wife, Stacy. Second episode was Peyton and her boyfriend, Kadeem. Third episode is Blake and me, and it dropped yesterday. In fact, my wife is on the phone. Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning.
Hey, Blake. So I wanted to ask, was it when you sat down with John Jay in the studio and the conversation's all formal, was it at all awkward because it's different from when you guys, just talk on your walks?
You know what? I have to say, I sat in your space, Kyle. Sorry.
No, you're always welcome.
And I felt your calm, fun, exciting vibes while I was there. And it was really easy for me. Like, it was just a conversation. So it felt like it didn't feel stressed or anything like I normally do. I normally sweat. I can't sleep the night before. But it felt natural.
Question, as you talk to John Jay, the difference between talking to him at home and then talking to him on the radio, is it different? What part does he stop paying attention to the most, the soonest?
At home, he tunes me out. Like, I have to say things a bunch of times. But he was actually engaging and listening.
Well, it's working. Podcast.
So I think it was actually a great therapy. I think it was actually a great therapy session. Every time we have trouble, I think we need to just sit down and hash it out with headphones on.
There was a lot of questions we got after the podcast, and I was going to just hold them for the next time you and I ever do the podcast. But one of them was like, how does Blake sleep with your CPAP noise and chonies over your head at night next to her every night?
Well, actually, I actually think those things are a blessing because I used to have to get up and sleep in a different room because there was a lawnmower next to me the entire night. And I don't have to wear earplugs anymore, so I'm actually very grateful for those things.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's a good question. All right. Have a great day. I love you. The Couples Podcast is available on our on-demand channel, wherever you get podcasts, John Jay and Rich on demand. All right. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
John Jay and Rich.
I do the same thing I told you that I never would. I need you to stay, need you to stay.
Jane Rich. So Bieber, Kid Laroi hanging out, Coachella. Lots of Coachella stuff. You go to our website or go to social media, you can see so much Coachella. Okay, so we just talked to Blake, but I'm going to be honest with our audience, okay? That happened on Friday. That interview with Blake happened on Friday. And there was something that happened behind the scenes that was really funny that we thought we should play. Because what happened was, I don't even remember why, we were just got done talking to somebody, and we got Blake on the phone for something. And then Rich had this idea to get Blake on the phone to tape a call with her to run today to promote yesterday's podcast. You follow me? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. But then, so what you're going to hear right now is kind of the way that came up. So we said goodbye to this girl, Jen. I think her name was Jen. We said goodbye to Jen. And then Rich has this idea. And then my wife was having breakfast with her dad and stepmom, right? She had just walked away. And she tells us something. So what you're about to hear was literally behind the scenes. This happened Friday. All right, Jen, thank you for calling in. Blake, you have a great day. Hopefully I'll see you later.
Okay. Yes, wait.
Don't have Blake hang up yet.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Hang on, I'm going to say goodbye to you, Blake, and then we'll
hang up. Call me right back.
No, hold on. All right. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Jen. Sean, Jen, Rich, Kiss FM.
Come on.
Wait.
Blake. My idea I was going to pitch John Jay is that we have Blake on as a guest to promote the podcast.
Oh, you mean after it airs?
Yes, after it drops on Sunday. We have her on Monday as a guest to promote the podcast.
Okay, so forget that call ever took place. Got it?
Okay, and guess what?
What?
Guess who joined my breakfast? My dad and Deanna and I. And he won't leave.
Somebody I know?
Yes.
Somebody joined your breakfast and he won't leave. Okay.
He won't leave.
Like he sat down at your table?
I feel like I'm trying to have breakfast with my dad.
He hasn't left for 30 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God.
Can I guess who it is?
Sure.
I just assume it's Noah.
No, I would welcome that.
Noah's a delight. All right,
I would welcome Noah.
I can tell you guys who
Noah.
it is. I know for sure Rich. No, I mean, I'll write it down. I know Rich knows who it is.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys do.
Don't say, but okay. All right, love you. Bye.
Wait, we didn't do our thing. We got to promote your appearance on the Couples Therapy podcast.
I thought that was it.
This is a media thing.
I don't know. This is Rich's idea. What now?
Well, so we're promoting the Couples Therapy podcast that dropped yesterday.
Special guest,
Blake, and so we've booked her on the show to promote the podcast.
Okay. All right, special guest on the line, you guys, the star of the most recent Couples Therapy podcast, Blake Van Ass. Nice job. Yeah. Very nice.
You can star.
See, if you missed any of the podcast, you can listen to it on our on-demand channel. But good morning, Blake Van Ass.
Good morning.
And then you heard what happened on Friday. And then you heard the rest of it. But that was some behind the scenes. You know what's interesting about the guy that sat down with her? It says happened on Friday. I just, the balls on some people, to me, the guy goes there, stands, Blake's eating breakfast with her family, and he stands there, and she introduces him. And then he says, this is the part that blows me, he goes, do you mind if I pull up a chair? And then pulls up a chair and then stays for 45 minutes. It was 45 minutes.
That's terrible.
I know, right? It was a politician who was trying to raise money for his run, which I thought we were over. I didn't know politics was still going on. I thought that whole thing.
I think they're kind of always going on, right?
I don't know, man. So anyway, that's just a little behind the scenes thing. Real quick, let's get into some TV. Rich, the show on Apple TV with John Hamm.
Yeah, your friends and neighbors.
Yeah.
Quick thing. John Hamm's like in everything. He's like Nicole Kidman now.
He hosted Saturday Night Live.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, I got this thing now with Saturday Night Live where I watch the opening, I watch the news, and then I watch the artists. Like Lizzo. I know Lizzo's canceled, but damn, she's good. Is she still canceled?
I think so.
But she is so talented, though, and she looks amazing.
Yeah, she's doing a good job, though, with her cancellation, though. She's staying under wraps, which is what she needs to do.
Right. Yeah, no, in the middle of John Hamm's monologue, Kieran Culkin came in.
What are you even doing here? This is my monologue.
I know, I'm just making a cameo.
Why? I'm a huge star, and I'm doing really well all by myself.
All right, I'm sorry, man. Hey, I'll make it up to you.
Okay, cool, man. Just give me your Oscar.
Look, don't you have enough, man? I've seen those photos of you in your gray sweatpants. Must be nice.
All right, whatever, dude.
His show's pretty good. So his show is he's like some Wall Street guy that loses everything, and he lives in this foofy neighborhood, so he decides to start stealing stuff from his friends' rich houses to sell, like on the sly. So there's only 2 episodes out, but it's good. It's good.
No,
Amanda
I'm almost
Pete's
done with the second episode.
I think it's really good.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a slow build, I think.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the first episode.
But
and
you
I'm
like
like,
him.
I mean, I feel like the slow build is kind of necessary because you see his life fall apart and how he gets to the point of where he's so desperate.
The
that
way
he
it
makes those
starts
choices.
off with his dead body and blood, I'm like, okay, how's he going to get to there? But right now, I'm almost done with the second episode, and he hasn't even got to the part where, like, anything's happening yet.
Right.
He just starts stealing watches right now. But anyway, 1923 ended too, right? Season 2.
Did you watch the finale? Are you
No,
there
I'm still
yet?
in season 1.
Let me just say that is as good as any movie I've ever seen. In fact, I think I may rewatch the whole thing. That I thought it was so well done. Big budget, looks great. Harrison Ford only has 2 speeds for acting now. He's either whispering like, I think we're going to get invaded. We're going to have to protect the land. Or he's yelling at the top of his lungs about nothing. You got to put up that fence by 3. But he's great. The whole cast is great. Highly recommend.
Okay, you know what I can't get into right now is Black Mirror. I don't know why.
You know what? I started watching the first episode of it, and I was like, meh.
Really?
It's not. I don't think I would expect it to be number 1 on Netflix, but it's not.
I just feel like Black Mirror has lost its like fizzle. Like it was like so. I feel like the episodes in the more recent seasons aren't as like jaw dropping as the first one.
I mean, they're still disturbing to
Yeah.
think of, like, if you put yourself in the shoes of like that position. Like the first episode is basically about this woman who she faints and ends up being possibly brain dead, right? And they have like this new technology where they can upload part of your brain to the cloud, and then you have to pay a subscription. And if you go out of the coverage area, she like faints again.
She shuts
like,
down.
Literally, like her brain
it's all
shuts down.
another version of Severance.
Yeah, kind of in a way. And I was just like watching it going, I don't think I need to finish this episode right now.
She starts doing ads because she's not paying for the tier that gets you no ads. So in the middle of the day, she'll be like, espresso beans from Canada. And like she'll do an ad, and it's starting to get her in trouble at work because she's a school teacher. But I thought it was decent.
I liked it. I mean, I genuinely like Black Mirror. I think it's fun to be able to like think about things like that sometimes. But have you seen the stuff where it's like people who haven't seen season 1 or season 2 of Black Mirror, and they're starting on season 3, episode 1? All the people are like, no, you need to go watch episode 1, season 1, and be traumatized like the rest of us.
Right, but you can watch them out of order. Yeah, Grant?
The thing that is crazy in the first episode of this most recent season is what the husband does to pay for the subscription
That's
for
true.
his wife. Yeah. And you're like, the things you would do to keep your wife's subscription on and to keep her alive, he starts cutting out his teeth on the internet for pay. Like on like an OnlyFans style thing. And it ends in the dark. Kyle, you need to finish it.
I'd be like, you know what? It looks like you're a vegetable.
No.
No.
Cut my teeth out.
You would never. You would never let that happen to Blake.
Oh, that's good.
Speaking of Blake, Blake and I are on the Couples Podcast. It's on John J. and Rich On Demand channel on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast. We're going to get some entertainment news. Kyle Payton going to spill the tea on Coachella this weekend. Ryan Seacrest, Amy Poehler. So much to get to next. John J. and Rich. John J. and Rich, get some entertainment news. Kris Jenner, I know she was at the launch of the space shuttle thing today, but what else?
She was. She was also on a podcast called The Burnouts, and she shared some really interesting advice that she had given to some high school kids to keep their cars clean. And here's why she said that.
I wish that it was legal if I was interviewing somebody to have somebody sneak down and look at the inside of the car and how does that look? Because it just kind of represents organizational skills and discipline and, you know, just the way that you feel about yourself and that you know, it's like, you know, going out into the world. How do you want to present yourself when you go out into the world?
And I thought, oh my gosh, like my car, John Jay's car, Peyton, we've talked about our cars together, just total disasters.
She would only hire Rich.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
pretty clean
Kris
right now.
Jenner would be disgusted by
Your
us.
car's never been dirty, dude. Never.
Your car's always spotless,
It
Rich.
smells really good now, too. It smells like berries. I put some new air freshener in the vents.
Peyton, why did you say Coachella's going viral for all the wrong reasons?
Well, because did you guys see all the camping situations? Like, of course.
It was like the cheap way to go to Coachella, and I'm like, what? People are sleeping there?
Yeah, they were literally explaining them as if like they were districts in the Hunger Games. Like, they were like, because some of these camp tent situations, like, they are really going through it. And then on the other side of, like, rich Coachella, they're in these, like, beautiful air-conditioned tents. Like, it was insane, and it's going viral for how bad
So the people
camp-out situation is.
in the air-conditioned tents, is that like celebrities like Bieber and that? And they probably have to deal with traffic and deal with it. They helicoptered in, helicoptered out.
$10,000 to book a tent for a room like that.
Oh, my God.
$10,000.
Pocket change for Kendall Jenner.
Is there anything that we should get into from Coachella? Or we hit it all. I saw Benson Boone video. He's freaking amazing, that guy.
Him flipping on stage, and then he brought one of the guys from Queen out to sing Bohemian Rhapsody.
I thought that was pretty awesome.
What I found interesting is you got Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet walking all around Coachella, making out, like PDA to the nines, and then her daughter Stormy at her ex's Travis Scott show. I'm just it's just like the dynamic there was probably a little awkward, right?
Has to be. When I saw that, because I, for some reason, forgot that Travis Scott was, like, headlining. I don't know why. I was so worried about Lady Gaga. But I was like, that was a conversation between Kylie and Timothy. Like,
totally.
She was like, hey, physical touch, that's our love language, but really, let's amp it up. Because Trav was out there looking for that.
For sure, for sure.
I saw Bieber there, but I'm curious because, I have a lot of clothes from him. Drew House. I mean, I have my Crocs right there, right? And I have a shirt. One of my favorite pairs of swim trunks is Drew. And is he not doing that anymore?
He's not doing it anymore. And there must have been some major drama because he literally went online and was like, I am not associated with Drew House anymore.
It's his middle name.
With me. He said, he literally said, if you rock with me, do not waste your money on that brand. And he teamed up with a new clothing company that he actually Instagram, I was like on stories or whatever. It's called Skylark. And so that's his new brand that he is associated with.
Well, okay.
I know. I think there was some major drama there. That's what, like, the person that he co-founded it with, he met through Scooter Braun. If you guys remember at the beginning of this year, he unfollowed Scooter Braun and a couple other people, and that was one of them. So he probably had some, like, dirty business dealings.
Well, in one of the documentaries, or somewhere I saw, he's hanging with that guy. They seem to be friends forever, the guy that runs the clothing line.
Yeah, not anymore.
And the clothing line is named after him.
I know. So that's why he's making it very clear that he has nothing to do with it anymore.
I do ride with him. But I also have clothes I already bought from him. So
now it's time for you to buy the Skylark ones.
He's not going to worry about the swim trunks. You're already in. He was in then. You're fine.
Okay. What else? How about Charlie XX? I saw her too. She looked great.
Yeah, Charlie XCX, I thought, probably had one of the best sets of weekend one of Coachella. She brought out Billie Eilish, and they sang their song Guess, and then she brought out Lorde. And I was like, yes, giving us everything that we want. I think everyone was pretty happy with her set. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
Good morning, John Jay and Rich. Can I help you?
Hi, is this John Jay?
Hi, yeah, hi.
Hi, you used your really nice, soft voice when you used to work at the check cashing store. But anyway.
What's your name?
You guys were totally... Hi, my name is Claudia. How are you?
Hi, Claudia. Hi, Claudia. What's going on?
You guys were just talking, you just got into 1923, and I just wanted to tell you that the guy that plays Spencer, the actor, he is actually going to play Batman in the next Batman movie.
Ooh, that's good. I agree with that. Yeah, that's good.
Wait, though. Hold on. What about Robert Pattinson? Is he not doing it?
No. So they just announced that he's going to be taking it over. Brandon Skellner, and is it Gunn? Is it that? I don't.
James Gunn
is the director on it. Yeah. So, I mean, with those eyeballs, how can you not?
Yeah, he's handsome as hell. Well, wait a second. Nick seems to be confused because Nick is all about this whole world. What do you got, Nick? You don't think so?
Brandon Skellner wants to play Batman. There's been no announcement on who's playing Batman in the Gunn universe.
Roasted, Claudia. Roasted.
Sorry.
See, because
bearer of bad
I agree with it, though. He'd be great.
He would be great, but what I heard was that Robert Pattinson's doing Dune 3, and they were afraid that they're going to have to delay the Batman 2.
Really? I can't see him in Dune.
You want to go another 20 minutes?
Am I close? No, or just yes or no?
So the Batman 2
Hey, listen, no, I totally trust Nick.
No.
Well, I like that guy, and I was telling Rich, he looks so familiar, and I couldn't place where I knew him from. And then I ended up Googling him, and I realized, you guys know where I know him from, this guy from? He's the guy that was doing all the press about It Ends With Us. He's like the third guy. It's like there's Jason Baldoni, and then there's Blake Lively, and there's this guy doing all this press. He's got like a mustache. I'm like, that's him. I didn't finish It Ends With Us. Do you see him? You recognize him?
No.
He's good looking.
Claudia, thank you for calling in, and thanks for listening.
Hey, and no problem being wrong, but thank you for Nick for correcting me because, it was all over the internet the other day.
Oh, roasted you back. It's all over the internet, Nick. Are you sure? You don't know for sure?
It is. I just Googled it. I should have Googled it before I called you, and it has been debunked, and he said that he never said that. And it just
roasted back to you, Claudia.
So much roasting.
I just roasted myself.
Nick just roasted you without even doing anything. All right.
I think we need to do a segment about stuff that Claudia's kind of heard to be true.
Yes, but also, though, I wanted to say that I was sitting here out loud as Peyton was talking about that cute little movie that's on Netflix. Like, I watched it on Sunday afternoon just, like, for something to watch. And I'm over here, and I'm like, oh, yes, you are so right. It was just a little different. It was so good. I was having a whole conversation over here just with Peyton about this TV show. So I love you guys.
Love you, too. Thank you.
I've listened to you guys for years and years and years. So you guys are super awesome.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, guys. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
He said, are you serious? I try, but I can't figure out.
John, Jay, and Rich. We need a contestant. We're going to play a game. What can we play? Oh, we're going to play Real or Fake. So we need a contestant. Tickets to see ADDY's the World Tour, Glendale, August 12th, Desert Diamond Arena. We got your tickets. You're going to play. We need you to call right now, 877-937-1047. Now, we already talked about the highs and lows, or the highs of like Kyle's son, Easton, riding a bike. But now, also, I mean, this is like pretty scary, I think.
It's probably like one of my worst nightmares as a parent. So Addie has a tablet, and she's 10 years old, and she has recently downloaded this game. It's like a horse game. So in the game, you basically tame horses and you collect them. Seems innocent, right? Mm-hmm. So I was sitting next to her. This was about a couple months ago, and she was acting kind of weird about me seeing what was going on the screen. Well, come to find out, there's like a chat feature that I had disabled. But apparently, she figured out the parental like code to get into the settings, changed it, and opened up the chat feature. And I was like, you're chatting with a perfect stranger. You have no idea who's on the other end of this. And so I went in and I disabled again. I changed the password and thought everything was fine. Then over the weekend, I was in my closet and Scott came in and he's like, hey, I just want you to know that I was like, Addie and Easton are doing their quiet time. I passed Addie a couple times and she seemed like very weird about me seeing what was going on the screen. Turns out she reset the profile, which then reset the password, then opened up the chat again and was chatting with who knows. So I went in and I'm trying not to be like hysterical because what I really want to say to her is like, that's some pedo on the other end. They're grooming you and like really give her a nightmare so she gets scared of this because it's terrifying to me because you do not know who she's talking to. But I like kept my cool. I was like, so can you help me understand why you would go in and put the chat on when I already told you this was not acceptable? She's like, well, there's this girl on here that's really nice and this is the only way I have to chat with her. And I said, okay, can I see the chat? She shows me the chat and it's like, it's innocent talk about the game, but also it's the beginning of the chats, which is the grooming period, which wouldn't, she's like, they're not asking me my address or personal questions or anything like that. And I said, well, I appreciate that you're aware of that. I said, but let me ask you a question. How do you know that this is a girl you're speaking with? And she's like, well, her name is Amber. And I was like, how do you know her name is Amber? She said, well, I guess I don't know. And I'm like, okay, let me ask you another question. How do you know it's a kid on the other end? And she's like, well, look how they spell were. And I was like, you don't think adults misspell words ever? And she's like, I guess they could. And I said, Addie, I love your innocence so much, but this is what predators do online. They pretend to be kids. They pretend to do this. They pretend to like the things that you like to gain trust in you, and then eventually may ask you those other things. Could it be a kid? Sure. Could it also be someone very dangerous? Yes,
Maybe
which is
even more
why
likely.
we've disabled this chat feature. So she was like crying, and she was like, she gets like very disappointed in herself because like she holds herself to a really high standard, and she's like, I'm so stupid. And I'm like, no, you're not stupid. Was it not a smart decision? Yes. Now I had to take away her tablet, and I'm like, she's like, are you going to throw it away? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to throw away the tablet.
24-hour probation.
It's a perfectly good tablet. But now I'm literally like, I told her I just have to decide if I'm going to let her play that game anymore or if I'm deleting it altogether.
You should have somebody here, like have Nick or somebody here call her, and she'd be like, "Hi, is this Addie? Yeah. Hey, this is Amber. I haven't seen you on the game the last couple days."
These horses aren't going to feed themselves.
You have no idea what's out there. It's so scary.
You totally played it. I would have flipped out. I totally would have flipped
But
out.
if I flipped out, then she wouldn't show me the chat. She wouldn't tell me why she did it, all the things.
No, you did all the right stuff.
You're right.
But yeah, so that's currently I'm trying to figure out.
It's so scary. Because you also think, why is Amber's mom letting her do that?
Totally. That's exactly. I'm like, who's this Amber character that can just go online and do whatever she wants?
And did Amber tell her how to reset it? Then that's an adult. You know?
No, I don't know who told her that idea. But yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Well, let's say hi to Rick. Good morning, Rick.
Hey, this is Rick. How we doing?
All right, you're going to be our contestant. Nick, what game we got? Nick and Rick. Nick, Rick, and Rich. Okay. What game we going to play, Nick?
We're playing real or fake today, guys. I like to theme my games. Yeah, what's a good theme?
Coachella.
For
Easter?
Okay. We did go with Easter.
Yay!
So it's Easter theme. I've got some Easter traditions here. Some are real, and some are ones that are just made up. Your goal is to guess which is which, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Rick's ready too. All right, so here we go. We're going to start off round one with John Jay. John Jay, the Great Jelly Bean Toss. At sunrise, participants line up in pairs and toss jelly beans into each other's mouths, increasingly ridiculous distances. Catching 5 in a row without dropping any is said to bring a month full of sweet surprises.
I mean, that sounds fun and real to me.
Okay.
So I will say that is real.
You're going to go with real? You would be incorrect.
No.
I'm so sorry. That's one we just made up.
That's a good one, though. We should do that.
Yeah, I think now that'll be a tradition for us in here, guys. Rickard. Bunny Suit Parade of Regret. After Easter dinner, everyone puts on the most ridiculous bunny costume they can find and parades through the neighborhood. The last one to get honked at by a passing car must host Easter next year.
That's got to be real. That sounds very New Jersey.
Okay. And again, you would be incorrect.
Oh my gosh. Those are two good ones to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're missing out on some great traditions that could be happening all over.
No points for John Jay, no points for Rich Payton. The Bloom Basket Quest. On Easter morning, families hide small hand-woven baskets filled with seasonal flowers instead of eggs. Each flower represents a different blessing, joy, renewal, love, or luck. Whoever finds the basket with the rare white tulip gets to make one spring wish for the year.
I'm going to say that's real.
Okay. That's a very good guess, and it is correct.
Yay!
One point for Peyton, officially on the board. Kyle, the boiled egg whispering ceremony. Each person holds a hard-boiled egg to their forehead and whispers for their hopes for spring into it. The eggs are then buried in the backyard to hatch the dreams, though the smell in a week suggests otherwise.
Oh. Why would anyone do that? That's a bad idea. So I'm going to say...
It does feel like it's a bad idea,
I'm going to say fake.
1 point for Kyle.
Woo!
Way to go.
That would smell so bad.
1 point for Kyle, 1 point for Peyton. Rick, the carrot crown ceremony. After the egg hunt, children gather leftover carrots and weave them into playful crowns with vines and ribbons or grass. The child with the most creative crown is dubbed the Spring Monarch and gets to choose the day's activities, usually something chaotic like egg toss dodgeball.
That sounds fake.
It sounds fake. It does. But in fact, it's real.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like we need to see more carrot crowns on social media.
So the jelly bean thing isn't real, but the carrot thing is? What's wrong with people?
I don't write these, Rich.
But you do.
Only some of them.
Round 2. The only people on the board are the ladies in the room. We'll kick things off with John Jay. How about the Peep Stacking Championship, John Jay? Contestants compete to see who can stack the most marshmallow peeps into a single tower before gravity or ants bring it down. The current world record, 43 peeps and a sugar-induced blackout.
I mean, that seems real to me. Didn't we do a peep eating contest in here, Ron? We should try to show as many.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Was it like Chubby Bunny, but with peeps?
I'm going to say that's real.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's a very good guess. You had a 50-50 chance, and you got it wrong.
Oh, no.
So sorry, John J. Rich. The Midnight Carrot Offering. Children leave. I'm so sorry. Children leave carrots on their windowsills the night before Easter, hoping the shadow hare will visit. If the carrot is gone in the morning, the hare has blessed their garden. If it's still there, someone's been naughty.
Interesting. The carrot thing seems like it's got Easter origins. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with that as 100% real.
All right, good guess, Rich. It's not. It is.
Ow,
That's not
son
true.
of a-
It's a fake one.
You suck, dude.
Yeah. I don't know my Easter.
Goose eggs for John Jay and Rich today. We'll move on to Peyton. The Lantern of the Long Hair. On Easter Eve, a lantern is lit with a candle in the shape of a rabbit. It's placed in a window. It's placed in a window to guide the mythical long hair, a forest spirit to bring clarity and renewal. In the morning, if the candle's wax is dripped in a perfect circle, it means the year ahead will be filled with harmony.
I'm going to say...
Peyton, real or fake, Peyton?
You know, I don't think people really play with, like, their luck and stuff like that, so
Yeah?
I'm going to go with that's real.
Okay, and
Sounds like something someone would do.
for the first time ever, Peyton has 2 points in my game.
Wow.
Way to go, taking a commanding lead. Kyle, how about the resurrection relay race? A mix between an egg and spoon race and interpretive dance. Teams must resurrect a fallen chocolate bunny by carrying its broken pieces across a field and reassembling it with frosting glue, all dressed as Roman centurions.
Wow. That game takes a lot of planning. I'm going to say fake.
Okay, 2 points for Kyle today.
Man, you guys are
I'm
good.
knocking you guys out.
Rick, you're going to go see ATs if you can get this right here.
Oh, that's how you say it? ATs?
ATs.
I thought it was ADDYs.
At ease.
ATs.
When you
They're
said
both
I was
cute
like,
names.
wait a minute. Is it at ease? And then I had to go look it up.
So is it 80s music or is it military
It's-
music?
It is a Korean
At
pop
ease.
band.
Okay.
Be careful.
So we're going to back up.
Oh, yeah. I don't need no Korean people coming after me anymore.
Be careful.
Go down that road again.
Rick, save us. Eggshell messages. In the weeks leading up to Easter, family members write little notes, jokes, wishes, or confessions and slip them into carefully cracked and cleaned out eggshells. These message eggs are painted, hidden, and opened during Easter brunch, revealing heartfelt or hilarious surprises.
Oh, I'm going to go with real.
Rick wins the game!
All right, Rick. You're going to go see 80s.
ATs.
ATs. A tease. Hold on. Kyle's coming with 3 things.
I'll tell you why Instagram and Facebook may need to break up next with John Jay and Rich.
So high like I'm a star. So high like I'm a star.
John Jay and Rich. Kyle, what do you have for 3 things we need to know?
This could be huge, like historic. The Federal Trade Commission is set to take Meta to trial, and they're accusing Mark Zuckerberg of creating a social networking monopoly through years of anti-competitive product. Now, if a judge rules on the side of the FTC, Meta, which owns Facebook, could be forced to sell off Instagram and WhatsApp. A lot of people are speculating that this is why Zuckerberg has made efforts to form an alliance with President Trump in hopes that maybe he could stop this or help with this situation. But this is going to be very interesting to see what happens, because if they have a monopoly, they can't have all of those huge social media apps. And then someone new, I guess, will own Instagram and WhatsApp. I'm not sure. That will be, or could potentially be, like I said, historic. So several brewing companies have entered the cannabis industry with non-alcoholic beer infused with THC. Just in time for 420. You can bring it to your Easter celebrations, I guess. They advertise it by saying, in social drinking occasions or end of the day unwinding after the kids are asleep, a low dose of THC brings you right to that special floaty place without trading, feeling good, and having fun for a hangover. The cannabis-infused booze-free brews contain about 3 to 5 grams of THC. Where they are legal, they're about $20 for a 6-pack. Turns out the key to a successful marriage may be money, in the sense that you two are aligned about it. They found couples who are overly focused on money tend to communicate less effectively about finances and are actually less satisfied in their marriages. However, couples who share similar money-related beliefs tend to have better financial communication, which may benefit the relationship overall. Just says, financial attitudes, you better, it's good to... Peyton, when you're in the position you are with Kadeem before you're married, discuss the finances, have those uncomfortable conversations, and make sure you're on the same page, because it could be the key to the longevity of your relationship in the future.
You know what's funny about that? Is that sometimes I look back at how lucky I am in life with certain things, pretty much my whole life. But when it comes to relationships, like my wife, not once did we ever talk about finances. Did you ever talk about politics? We ever talk about religion? Or did we ever talk about how to raise our kids? Do you know what I mean? And I think I lucked out in all those categories.
Because you just immediately aligned.
It just happened, without ever.
But could you imagine if those things weren't aligned?
I know. I can't imagine that. I can't. It blows my mind, So to have that conversation, my advice would be, don't have it. See what happens.
What could go wrong?
Not all of us have dumb luck like John.
I know. Dumb luck is right. It's like I Forrest Gumped my way into an okay relationship.
Totally. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Now, on the heels of your other story, you guys, I was telling you guys how a week ago I tried some gummies, right, to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Some marijuana gummies with THC. Mm-hmm. So there were 5 milligrams, and then Peyton got me some that are 10 milligrams. So I decided to try it Saturday night.
Ooh, because you don't have to get up on a Sunday for a show.
Exactly.
And
how do they work?
It was terrible. It didn't work at all.
What? Oh, my gosh.
I took a 10 milligram. The only thing that I could think of that was at all different, but it just might have been my mind. I took it. I waited 45 minutes. Nothing happened. I decided to go to sleep. So I put my CPAP mask on. I closed my eyes to go to sleep. And the animation in my dream was fantastic. So I could only think that, I was like, this animation is better than Pixar. And I was like, is that the weed? But wait a minute, it's not like a hallucinogenic. So maybe it's just my mind making up this dream, and it's a really cool dream, but I'm thinking it's the weed. Does that make sense?
Yes,
it was a really good... I was like, I'm going to put Pixar out of business.
Did you sleep well, though? Did your sleep score?
No, my sleep was terrible.
No. You might need to take more than a 10 milligram. Because
don't tell him that.
Don't do that.
I would take a 10 milligram, and you're a bigger human than
You're
I
also
am.
immune, probably, too.
No.
You need to take...
But it works for you.
It works for me.
I did nothing.
My dad takes 3 of them, if that says anything. Because the ones I gave you are the same ones I get my dad.
So you take 3 of them, and then you just kind of wait? Do you start to feel anything? Because, my point was I wanted to go to sleep.
You don't need to wait and feel the effects. Just go to bed.
Right. So, but what I want is, I want to take it and go to sleep and wake up 9 hours later. But what happens is I wake up 3 or 4 times. I'm like, oh, this gummy doesn't work. And if I don't take the gummy, it's the same thing. Except yesterday, I felt a little I need to go take a sauna and get this weed out of my system.
Oh, really? You felt groggy?
I felt like, I don't feel like doing anything. Yeah. So anyway, those are my 2 cents on the weed.
It's a good update.
Yeah.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No